How to practice discipline when you're so lazy and don't want to get out of bed. I feel like everybody wants to talk to you about being disciplined when you're so motivated in the flow state, but nobody's talking to you about how to be disciplined when you're in the state of laziness, extreme laziness. You don't even want to get out of bed. You're so bedrock. Every time you try to do something, it feels freaking painful. I've been there so many times, and I noticed that this phase often happen because your flow state have been disrupted. We all have been in the state of flow where we're so disciplined. We do all the things that we say we're going to do up to a certain point, and we experience a hit. That hit sometimes come from maybe you go somewhere else and an event that you plan, you ate something, and that just disrupted your own routine of eating habits, or sometimes you went somewhere else, you had a sleepover, and those people in that environment don't operate the way you operate there. Therefore, your whole schedule is total of something happened that just disrupted your flow state. It gets so hard to go back to the routine because you keep trying and then you keep failing. The huge mistake we make is talk ourselves down. And whenever we're trying to get back, we create this unrealistic expectation of 5 a.m. morning routine, and we create this huge plan that we were doing before, but we forgot that we have lost the momentum, and now we need to get back to that momentum. Getting back to that momentum doesn't require so much big of unrealistic expectation. It's just small stuff. And a lot of time, if you set these big expectation and you don't do it, your confidence get ruined, and you start to talk yourself down of how bad of a person you are. This is just going to repeat a whole cycle and become a sabotaging stage. Today we're going to talk about how to break free from this cycle, and I think many of us fall into this cycle. Having a slump phase in life is normal, but being in that state for long and perpetuating the behaviors of negativity and sadness is not what we want. In order for you to do this smoothly without getting back into your slump phase or sabotaging slave, you need to do this with slow motion, slow discipline. I call this slow discipline. Why? Because we are putting low effort. And I call this low effort, but when you're in that deep state, everything else feels like a huge chores in your brain, even literally the things I used to enjoy. For example, I noticed me even journaling. I enjoy journaling, especially deep journaling. When I'm in that state, that even becomes a chore for me to do. Number one is to get yourself a new reset. Whenever I fall into this pit, I like to reset my space. Sometimes it's my laundry that has piled up and I haven't done for long, or give my room a new look, or get into a deep cleaning of my stay, recycling my own pages of where I left off and start fresh. And something that we often neglect is our screen time. If I have 16 hours of screen time and I look at that 16 hour of my screen time, there's nothing of productive that I have done during that 16 hours. That will be a huge discard. I'm just going to reset that because 16 hours on screen time with no optimal productivity is just not helpful for the functionality of our human. Continue like this, I know I'm gonna hate somewhere else that I don't want to end up with. You need to review your schedule of where you left off, where that stage started with. Maybe you were watching something and that just intriguing of your brain, and now you forgot the whole procedure of your plan or what you're gonna do the week, and that just drive you to go on and watch and watch. You gotta look into where that left off and pick up from there. It's about clearing your thoughts, clearing your space, clearing your schedule, and getting rid of the things that are not useful to you. Number two, define your priority. I think we don't define our priorities, and we end up trying to work on so many different things. For example, if you have make a goal and that goal is very long term goal, then specify which phase are you in terms of that goal. If you have a goal to master something in 6 months, then maybe the first 3 months will be the basic section of that goal. You need to start to prioritize what are the goals that needs your attention right now and focus in that particular goal instead of trying to work towards many different things. If you're trying to go to the gym and then be productive in school and come back and do your side hustle and maintain your space, that is actually overwhelming. I don't think anybody can do all these simultaneously without feeling the overwhelming amount of stress on their shoulder. And being in that state, you're just gonna fall back into that slump phase. We don't want to do that. Instead of that, we want to focus on that one goal, which is the priority of us for now. When it comes to setting that priority, a lot of the time is about knowing what to say no for now. We all have different goals that we want to pursue, but sometimes saying no to certain things is going to help you to focus your attention in one thing that needs your attention. Whatever requires your attention at that state, maybe is a document filing that you need to do and you have left it off. When it comes to choosing that priority, saying no to other things is just the main priority. Find those no's. Look into your calendar. Draw down what are the things that I was supposed to do, but they don't require my attention right now in the next upcoming 30 days or 3 months, and just eliminate those because it's going to save you so much stress of trying to calibrate all your time to allocate to these things. When I am in this state of deep slum, I want to set the bar so low that it even feels stupid to not do so. For example, I like to do 5 ayah. I read Quran on a daily basis, and when I am in that state of laziness, I like to set the bar so low, such as 5 ayah, so that when I don't do them, I feel ashamed and stupid that I just do it. You need to set the bar low. What is the bar so low that when you don't do it, you feel stupid about it? You need to set those bars for yourself in your current state. Maybe it is not waking up for 5 a.m. Maybe that's not the priority right now. I know we all wants to be that disciplined girl, envision that disciplined girl on 5 a.m. However, in that state, it's very counterproductive to set 5 a.m. routine when you know you haven't done it. I don't like to put that pressure on myself when I know I have done it. But if you know you can still do it and the next day keep going, kudos to you. I find that if I set it and I do it the next day, I don't do it, that actually deteriorate my confidence. Because of that, I don't set it. I don't set to start my day at 5 a.m. I might wake up for Fajr and then go back to sleep and then wake up and start my day around 11 or 10. That is a flexibility. Knowing that will allow you to accumulate confidence rather than trying to set yourself on 5 a.m. routine. It's good to be disciplined. I know discipline is really good, but if you're not there yet, better practice the basics so that you can get there faster. And the basic right now, it's not about 5 a.m. routine. And when it comes to setting the bar so low, you can set reading routine. I like to read, replacing time screen with reading on a book that you're particularly interested about or a topic you're particularly interested about, somewhere you left off. Just maybe 3 page of it. Maybe that's your bar. Or maybe 30 minutes, that's your bar. Activities. I right now is about to be summer and I like to go outside for a walk. And the days I haven't done something, I told myself, listen, if you can't get this done, you're not going to be able to go outside. Like I told myself like that. And it allows me to get stuff done so that I can go outside. But lately it's been raining and I haven't been getting towards that. Do some sort of activities, some 10-minute activity that is going to get rid of the bedridden situation you have been living in. I know we all want to have a huge spread to do list that makes us feel so happy. Listen, number one, I don't put daily habits on my to do list. I don't put read 30 minutes of book on my to do list. That's just a habit that I need to cultivate. It's not part of my to-do list. I think a to-do list has to be something that requires your attention. And we need to stop making those lists 5 or 10 or huge amount of it. That's just nonsense. It doesn't help you. It's gonna create anxiety if you go and you only check off one and there's still 5 things left. Tell me about your confidence. It's gonna be so low. You're gonna hate yourself of not finishing this or trying to think about staying late up to do them and disrupting your sleep schedule. Instead of doing that, focus on two or one. I like to focus on one because I know if I focus my attention in this one thing, I can get it done. I can learn about different avenue that I haven't tackled of this one particular thing or two. That's it. Often enough, we have one huge big thing that we need to do and we are not doing it. Why? Because it's so hard. Oh, we don't know how to approach it. And because of that, we left it off there. Select that one big thing that is so frustrating and is annoying for you to do. And just tell yourself, I'm going to do it for 1 hour. And see for yourself, by 1 hour, you want to finish it all. That's a huge tip that has always helped me. I schedule myself, tell myself, listen, you're gonna only do this today. Only you're gonna do this today. That's it, nothing else. And after doing this, even though you haven't even reached the difficult part, now maybe you started to learn about how to approach the topic, how to do something, how to delegate it to somebody else to do it. You started to learn. By the end of an hour you already know what you're going to do about it, and that's the beauty part of it, and that allows you to just finish it off instead of putting that huge list. Don't do that. Just focus on one. Number 5, create a separate set of routine. Have a must do routine. I think a lot of time we don't have must do routine. I think we all need to have must do routine is the thing that is going to help you stay in the momentum even though you're feeling lazy. We don't want to be in a state where we absolutely are not doing anything else except rotting in bed, because that state even in itself is so depressing and getting out of it is difficult. In the future, I want you to start having a reflectionary moment. You can do this at night or during the morning. Start thinking about what is the routine that you can adopt no matter where you are. Because I know me being in a different environment just disturb my flow. Why? Because maybe those people, their spaces are not properly maintained the way I maintain my space. It just, I get annoyed, I get disturbed. So then I told myself, then what kind of work can you do in this environment? If you can't truly focus, what kind of work can you at least do beside not doing anything? Or if you fall into this pit, what kind of activity that can you maintain instead of not doing any sort of activities? Find your must do list no matter what. And for me, my must do list is to read something. It doesn't have to be a book. It could just be an article, a Quran. Just read something. For me, just doing that and writing something is just gonna help me to stay in the flow. Because the moment I took out that pen and the paper and I start writing, I know something is getting out. Or sometimes when I don't feel like writing, I record. You can record and keep that recording as your own journaling session, just to reflect on the space of what you're gonna do next instead of sitting in the pits and then letting it ruin over you days after days and then feeling lost. This is gonna be number 5, your reflectionary moment. You need to have this. I don't know what time is best for you to have this. Look at it in your own time. Keep that journal beside you and start writing what is my must do no matter where I am. Some people, even though they are in the jungle, they still want to do jumping jacks and push-ups. Some people, even though they are in the market, they still want to read. Find that thing. Sometimes it can just be one thing that you must do so that you don't get out of the flow. Number six, I think we all need to stop following what everybody else is doing. Whenever you are in this state, I would avoid visiting any sort of social media of people where they're doing activities. If it inspires you to do it, you can go forward. But I know some people, it doesn't inspire them to continue to get out of their bed. It just perpetuates them. They feel that this person have it figured out. I'm not in that state. I would avoid watching people's daily routine or watching somebody disciplining management system because somebody's life system is never going to suit my life. My priorities in life are different. Although we might have similarity of needing the focus hours, but our time is going to be different. My priority is going to be different. Why? Because my goals in life are different. My current state in life is different. My environment is different. Learn to curate your space and your schedule to suit you rather than trying to copy somebody else. If you listen to somebody else and they highly productive, they constantly do content about productivities, maybe it's time to step back and look at your own life and think about what are the productivity tips that are helpful for me and which I can stop using because we often think if we don't use their tips, we are not productive. No, productive doesn't simply mean following somebody's schedule. Is knowing that the things you do on daily basis is healing the profit for the future. And if you can look at it that way, then you can start to categorize your activities which are yielding the most profit for me in the future and which are not. Instead of trying to make things of this time is not productive, this time I'm productive. This is the last thing that I want to leave you with. Curate your own schedule. What works best for you? How can you delegate your time and energy to the responsibility that are around you? Not only that, attend to your own obligation for your future self. Think about that question.